Hello, my name is Steve Mangas, and I'm a chiropractor and acupuncturist here in Central Indiana. Today I want to talk to you about acupuncture. Now, acupuncture at its very essence is the study and treatment of electrical imbalances. Now, most people think of acupuncture and they think of some little Chinese or Korean doctor somewhere studying herbs and things like that. But here's what acupuncture really is. It got its history or its origins in India and Egypt. And then as time went by, it transmitted or went through and spread through China. And over time, China developed more and more case studies. What would happen was warriors would be injured by arrows, and then those points when those arrows would injure somebody, they would notice that their symptoms would go away. And they started to document those wounds and how those symptoms then went away. And so over time they made vast volumes and libraries of information regarding that. And that's how acupuncture came to pass. Now acupuncture has spread from China with the missionaries into Europe, and now from Europe it's into the United States today. What is acupuncture? Acupuncture is basically the study of electricity in the body. They are not some kind of mythical yin and yang. You have to remember the Chinese and the Indians and the Egyptians didn't have the scientific technology and terms to explain things back then like we do today. When we look at acupuncture pathways, the science has been done. Scientists have injected radioactive isotopes into acupuncture pathways, and that's been measured on X-rays in place, and they'll see those radioactive isotopes travel in areas where there are no blood vessels or no nerves. They travel along electrical pathways. There are multiple pathways in the body. Each pathway has a specific name, like a liver pathway or a liver meridian, or a gallbladder pathway or a gallbladder meridian, the bladder meridian, etc. And there's a pathway that's associated with each major organ of the body. Those organs receive energy or power or electricity, and that is measurable. If you think of what an acupuncture point is exactly like an outlet on a wall. In your house, you have electrical circuits, and those circuits come to the surface or come out of the drywall at outlets. What an acupuncture point is, it's a place on the surface of the skin that we can take a measurement or a reading, and we can also, it provides us access to the meridian to treat it. So what we'll do is we actually use an ohm meter, very similar to that which you use at home or an electrician uses in your house. They will go in and put these prongs into the wall, and they have a little meter, and it measures how much current's running through that outlet. And we can do that with the body. In fact, that's what we do in our office. We use what they call electromeridian imaging. And what we'll do is we'll take a client such as this fine young lady, and we will have her hold the ground, and then we will take our probe and we will get on acupuncture pathways, and we will take a measurement. And all we're doing is we're measuring the current or the resistance to the current as it runs through the body. And we'll go through all the 12 major meridians for the liver, for the kidney, for the gallbladder, for the large intestine, for the spleen, the stomach. And we can see how much current is running through the body, how much electricity is running through the body. When we've gone through and we've done our measurements, we'll receive a computerized output or printout like we have here. And you'll see different colors that you'll see associated with each pathway. Like in this lung pathway, you'll notice that this patient had blue, or a weakness of a pathway. Or in this pathway, they had too much current running through it, and that's why it's red. Green would indicate that there's a normal or healthy amount of current running through those pathways. If you think of a light bulb can have too much current running through it, which is what creates inflammation or heat, or it can have too little electricity running through it, which is what causes weakness. And so that's what we do when we go in and we measure the acupuncture pathways. As we look to see, does it have too much power? Does it have too little power? Or does it have just enough? We can actually measure and go in and see, in this patient's case, that they didn't have enough electricity or enough energy produced in the body. And that's represented down here in this graph. You'll see that value, and it says that they had a low amount of energy. It's not in the healthy green zone. And so we know the patient has a energy deficiency or weakness overall through the body and also through individual pathways. Once we've identified where the weaknesses or excesses are in the body, then we know based on the computer printout which acupuncture points to treat. We also have a printout that tells us the symptoms that are associated with each one of those imbalances. And when we go in to do the acupuncture, there are various ways we do that in our office. Everybody's always afraid. Is it going to hurt? Is it going to stab me? You can put multiple acupuncture needles inside of a straight hypodermic needle like you would receive an injection with. They're very sharp, and so when the needle goes in, it just spreads the cells out of the way. Kind of like if you run a comb through your hair, it moves the hairs out of the way. When you pull the needle out, typically there's no blood that's left. Maybe once in a while you'll see a dot, but really nothing. And the longer you leave the needle in, causes current that's high to come down, or if I have a weak state, I'll stick an acupuncture needle in and just tonify it for a few minutes. We can do it via needle therapy, we use lasers, and we use electrical therapy where we can use a low voltage current to go in and provide energy to the system as well. We'll typically go through and do that a few times with the patient, and then we'll come back and remeasure and see objectively, are we really getting the results we want? Symptoms will follow as the current gets better. So if you wonder what your energy looks like or what your electricity looks like, you have questions about acupuncture, contact our office, schedule a consultation. We'll be happy to sit down and go through and measure the acupuncture pathways, and then we can go from there. Thank you, and you have a good day.